Back to our dear panelists, Miss Virginia Di Gracia, Miss Adelpha Jola, and Miss Mona Ray Caballo. A pleasant day to all of you. We are the fourth year students taking up a Bachelor of Technology and Livelihood Education major in Information and Communication Technology. I'm John Michael Gilo, together with my groupmates, Jesheron Amarille, Clyzza Montañez, Richelle Pavo, Willcie Moscare, and Danilo Veeo. Today, we are here to present our study entitled Student Coping Strategies under Social Intelligence Level and Distance Learning During this COVID-19 Pandemic. But before we proceed to the main discussion, let me introduce myself again. I am John Michael Hilo, your first presenter. The introduction and background of the study. This pandemic, schools, colleges, and universities forced to close as they attempt to limit the spread of novel virus towards the students. Face-to-face teaching has been replaced with distance learning in most countries, including Philippines. This setup of new normal challenged the coping strategies and social intelligence of students. According to Lee et al. 2021, since the start of 2020, temporary school closures in over 180 countries have kept 1.6 billion students out of school due to fear of their coping abilities and social intelligence. We prompted to conduct this research for us to evaluate the significant relationship of students' coping strategies and social intelligence level during distance learning in this COVID-19 pandemic at Southern Leyte State University main campus. Specifically, we come up with this study to identify the coping strategy used based through the two perspectives of coping strategies, which are the problem-focused coping and emotion-focused coping. Determining the social intelligence level through the four main components of the Goldman model of emotional and social intelligence levels, namely the self-regulation, self-awareness, relationship skills, and social awareness. The researchers interested in seeing if students' various coping strategies have an also impact on their social intelligence level during the distance learning.
Thank you, Mr. Hello, for presenting the introduction and background of the study. I am Richelle Pavo, your second presenter. Now, let's proceed to the statement of the problem. There have been numerous studies that claim the level of social intelligence has an important impact on students' performance. Furthermore, students have different coping strategies in learning, such as problem-focused and emotion-focused strategies. And these coping strategies demonstrated that they have an impact on students' performance. Through the Goldman model of emotional and social intelligence, we choose to investigate whether students' preferred coping strategies in distance learning, such as problem-focused and emotion-focused, affect their level of social intelligence. The problem is stated in order to have a clear and concise representation of the issue that needs to be addressed, as well as providing all of the statements that are mentioned. The researchers are attempting to answer the following question. First, what are the students' preferred coping strategies in distance learning during this COVID-19 pandemic? Second, do students' preferred coping strategies affect their social intelligence level? Third, is there a relationship between the students' preferred coping strategies and social intelligence level? The created problem was to discover if there is a positive or negative or zero correlation between the different coping strategies to the social intelligence level of the students. Now, let's move on to the statement of hypothesis. The following null hypotheses were formulated and tested 0.05 level of significance to guide the study. First, students' coping strategies does not affect their social intelligence level. Second, there is no relationship between the students' preferred coping strategies and social intelligence level. Let's proceed to the chapter 3, which is the research methodology, and here is Ms. Clyzza Montañez.
This chapter provides an overview of the research methods used in the study. It contains information about the participants, such as the study's eligibility requirements, who the participants are, and how they were sampled. In research design, descriptive research method is used to collect the necessary information for this study. This method will allow researchers to interpret theoretical meaning of the findings and develop hypotheses for future research. The researchers specifically used an online survey questionnaire that allow researchers to gather information from respondents without the respondents having any difficulties answering the questions required for the researchers to have information about students' social intelligence and their coping strategies in distance learning during this COVID-19 pandemic. Let's proceed to the sampling and participants. And here is Ms. Willcie Marie Moscare.
Thank you, Ms. Montañez, for presenting the research design. And now let us proceed to the sampling and participants. The respondents of this study were selected using the random sampling. The researchers chose the respondents with a due regards to the individual's ability to provide the type of information so through each research instruments. The population of this study consists of randomly selected students of Southern Leyte State University main campus. So proceeding to the data collection methods, the gathering of data from the respondents was generated through an organized process and which enabled the researchers to conduct the study efficaciously. The researchers underwent the following to collect data from the respondents. The researchers prepared an online survey questionnaire for the target respondents. The researchers will tally, analyze, and interpret the result of the survey. Here is Mr. Danilo to present the data analysis procedure and the Gantt chart.
Hi again, I am Danilo Jr. and I will be presenting to you the data analysis procedure and Gantt chart. In data analysis procedure, to perform the statistical treatment of data, we will use Wilcox-Conn signed rank test. It is a non-parametric statistical hypothesis test used either to test the location of a set of samples or to compare the location of two populations using a set of matched samples. This process will obtain precise conclusions to help us achieve our goals. Our goal is to find out if there are significant relationships between coping strategies and social intelligence. So this is our working schedule in Gantt chart. Planning, identifying the research area, formulating the research questions, research strategy, design, and selecting the best methods are scheduled in September 2021 to November 2021. Preparation of thesis proposal is set to be in December 2021 to January 2022. This will be the time we rewrite our thesis proposal and searching more literatures. Next is the presentation of the thesis proposal in February 2022 to March 2022. At this time, we will submit our manuscript to our advisor for consulting before proceeding to the preparation and submission of thesis application to Ethics Committee, which in March 2022, probably in third week. In short, this will be the design hearing of our proposal. After the committee gave their suggestions and improvement of our study, we will be working on editing the proposal so that we can proceed to the data collection, which will be set in the last week of March 2022 to first week of the month of April. After that, we will be proceeding to the data analysis, which set in second week to third week of April 2022. The remaining week of April will be the writing of the final draft of our thesis. Right after we finish, will the dissertation due in first week of May, the submission of our thesis paper. Thank you so much. So, thank you so much for listening on our virtual presentation entitled Students' Coping Strategies and Their Social Intelligence Level in Distance Learning During this COVID-19 Pandemic. We, the researchers, are open for questions, suggestions, and recommendations. That will be all. Thank you.